Hey guys, how you going?
Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome. What episode are we up to?
We are number 90.
Wow. Round
Time
number.
flies when you're having fun, doesn't it?
It does indeed.
You been having fun?
Let's go.
Constantly.
Quite a few people joining us. So thank you
Already?
everyone. We've got Bruce, Ready for Action, and Robert. So welcome everyone.
Hello.
So episode 90, and as always, we have a very special car.
Car of the week.
That one's super special. That one just got in the store yesterday.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you ordered that, 12 months ago, 18
Yeah,
months
it's been a
ago?
long time. We ordered two. We only got one. Very limited. Very wanted. But we still can't pronounce the name.
No.
We'll
So-
all have a go, I think.
We all have a go at the name. So afternoon, Tony. So what do we need to guess?
Well, you need to guess the name of the car.
The size of the wheels.
Size of the wheels.
What size tyres does it have?
Oh, they gotta
Not
be
this
like-
one, the real one.
1,000 inch wheels. What? Sorry.
Could be.
The color? That's pretty obvious, isn't it?
Well, probably got a name.
Has it? It probably does too.
And the make.
That's right. Does it have a year? Do we know?
I don't think so. I don't
It's
even
fairly
know
new.
whether that is a production car or is a concept car.
Concept car, prototype somewhat.
I don't know. So anyway, so it's a brilliant model. We've been waiting for a long time, made by a probably one of the most bespoke Italian manufacturer of these models. So let us know what you think.
Let us know what you think.
Maybe or may not be. But what else do we have today? We've got lots of stuff.
Lots of stuff.
Received
You
some
got-
more tires.
I have jumped in early today.
You got
I wanted
heaps.
to show what we've got, show my wares. Straight now, the mailman has just been in and dropped us off a hot delivery of Hot Race 1/10 tires. Now, these would have been awesome to have last week. We were actually away racing last week. So these are new Hot Race tires. We're getting 2 treads,
Yep.
3 compounds. So
Yep.
we're getting the Sahara, the Bangkok, and we're getting in clay, soft, and super soft compounds.
That's right.
Now, the beauty about these tires is they come with inserts and without. Because one of the big bugbears of people with 1/10 off-road is the tires are so expensive because they all come with reusable inserts.
Absolutely.
So they'll come with a open cell or closed cell insert,
Yep.
which are good for many a run, but the tire itself is probably done maybe in half a dozen runs.
That's right.
So
Absolutely.
with this, you can get your half a dozen runs, cut your insert out.
Yeah.
You can take the insert out, then acetone your wheels, reuse it, put
That's
the
right.
inserts back in. So it should be dramatically cheaper. We haven't even received this stock yet. I bought them in so I could show you. I've opened these ones here.
So Hot Race is actually an Italian brand.
Yes.
We should say. And Hot Race has been around for a few years now. They started with on-road tires, foam tires, moved to 1/8, and now moved to 1/10. So they're very new to the 1/10. However, it's important to say they actually manufacture in Italy. They manufacture the rubber themselves. They've been developing really fast in improving and generating different quality type of rubbers.
Mhm.
And so it's fully made in Italy, including the rubber. So they have the full manufacturing process. Very interesting company, very young company too.
Very young company, a couple of young guys really in there,
Absolutely.
aren't they? And they've recently just reached out to the North American market,
That's
Mm.
right.
and they've got some big dollar drivers on the books.
Very successful.
Very successful. So we've got Ty Tesman, X-ray driver,
That's right.
factory X-ray. Got Cole Ogden, who's
Our bodies,
HB racer driver.
He's really fast, too, isn't he?
He's very fast. And Ryan Pavidis, of course.
That's right.
So the American market for them is going to be really, really something that they can jump into. So these are the ones I've got here. Are the Sahara Super Softs.
Let's
Oh, nice.
pop the top
Let's
camera.
put the top camera on. So it looks like it's a red dot on it. Really, really clean molding. And they do have a bit of depth in the tread, which is nice. They've got a nice, this time in particular, it's got a nice smooth carcass, which is good, which will help with the insert life. Because when you have a ribbed carcass, it sort
Nice,
of
that's
wears
rubber
away.
Straight insert.
Does
Yeah.
destroy your insert quicker. It's got really nice embossing on the sidewall, which is a really cool feature. Shows that they really care. Yeah, and obviously these ones don't have inserts, but you can see by the packets underneath that they do. Fit in the bead really nice. You will need tie bands, of course, to help you glue, being a super soft, sticky compound. But yeah, and that's sort of how they're going to sit on the car. And that is a bar type tire. So that is going to be really good at somewhere like your oil tracks or your clean track. Particularly interested to get these out to Kilo. We'll
Definitely.
be out at the track on Sunday racing at Kilo.
Yep.
So I'll be out there and the team will be out there testing these if you're out there and you want to have a go, come over and say hello, and we'll give you some to have a go with and see what you think.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
Agree. So we'll prepare a few sets of both patterns actually, because I even think the pin pattern could
the pin tie could be really good. Yeah, well, this could have been really good last week out at Wodonga.
Absolutely.
You know, being a little bit looser track that it was. So these are the open cell inserts that come with them.
And they're actually quite firm. So they're not the very traditional ones, super soft. They're actually quite firm. So it's a good in between.
And we've got this one here, this pin tie here, which looks, I'd call it more of a block tie than a pin tie. It looks very much 1/8 in design, which is really
quite
good.
Flat actually, isn't
so
it?
They have it quite flat. So the pins, they can get a softer compound with this without the pins walking around and moving around.
Yep.
But they've still got all this edge grip in the loose stuff, every little edge there. So really excited to try these out. Hot Race tires, it's a new brand to us.
Absolutely.
As of half an hour ago.
That's it.
Super excited to have them, made in Italy, and really excited to trying a new tire.
I think probably one of the highlights is this young company really proactive in all direction, proactive in developing new product, trying new type of rubbers, and very active in the market. Really, they've got a very good presence online, so you find lots of information.
Social media,
correct.
They're really into it. Being the young guys, they're really into their social media and their posts. Their marketing's really good. So we're really hoping that we can do great things with Hot Race in Australia.
For sure.
And hopefully they work for our conditions. And I'm sure, based on the 1/8 tires that I've seen, that the quality will be fantastic.
Absolutely.
So that is Hot Race. Straight off the press. We are missing a box, so we don't have our full range yet. But I'm sure that'll be in either later this afternoon or Monday.
It should be soon. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll definitely have enough to glue up and take down to the track, down to Keilor
this weekend,
and have a run and see what everybody thinks. Yeah. Hot Race.
That's it.
Super excited to have it.
All right. So anyway, we'll have a bit more of this probably next week. Next week we may have a bit of feedback.
We'll have feedback. I'll bring in some dirty ones or some used ones. After they've been run up, we'll try some compounds.
Yep.
Yeah. So we'll bring them in, get some feedback.
That's
right.
right.
I'm really hopeful. But like I said, one of the most exciting features is they do come without inserts, which should be really cost effective. And it'll be the only product in the market that have that. You know, so you can reuse your inserts, even if you're not using these inserts or using a closed cell from Sweep, say, then you know what I mean? That really does cut down the cost of the tires.
And often gives you the flexibility of trying different inserts, you know, because if you already buy it, you're going to almost want to use what you buy. But if you have leftover inserts, which most of us have, then you have the ability of putting something softer or something harder based on the situations.
Yep.
What they give us is actually quite firm, so it could be interesting to see. I think Yakima was producing some of these more firm open cell insert, and Simon Healy was actually using some of those because they actually gave that kind of middle ground type.
Yeah, well, I had them on the car on the weekend.
That's right.
Actually, yeah.
Yep.
The hard, that's what we were using up at Wodonga. So they were the Yokomo inserts and another tire, and that was the formula that worked for us.
Yep, that's right.
Somewhere in between, it was a little bit more forgiving than a closed cell insert.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
I like the names. Sahara
and Bangkok. That was probably where they had their first big races on, I'd say, on those treads. Who knows?
I don't know. We'll see.
I know that 8 scale, they got what's something
Miami,
Amazonia.
Yeah, that's it.
So we've chosen 2, and the 10 scale market is really new for them. So it's really fresh. It's a really good product. Really looking forward to getting behind them and bringing Hot Race to Australia.
That's right.
In a big way.
Absolutely. So
like it.
I'm parking this,
putting it out the way.
Now, talking about tires, what's wrong with this one?
That's right.
This seems to be a bit special.
This is a velodrome machine. It looks quite comical. It does really. I did an unboxing on a comical grasshopper the other day, which we might talk about after. But yeah, so this is a HB Racing E819 RS with some sweet SRC, what are they called? Slick Crusher tires.
Yeah.
Is that what they're called?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think
VHT Crusher.
Crusher, that's it.
And these are the biggest tires that I could fit onto these 17 mil hexes. And I've done that to aid in the gearing and also the cool look of it. Sort of looks like an old F1 car or something, doesn't it? Like a comical F1 car.
Surprising, your steering seems to be still clearing actually. So
yeah,
the offset is really. I never thought this was actually going to fit.
Yep, half-inch offset, and it does fit on. So It
Yeah,
really
it's not rubbing
is.
at all.
It
look at
really is quite a cool. Looking forward to getting this going at the velodrome. You know, they're belted, so they're going to be
belted.
super speed. Going to put the biggest pinion in there that we can. Going to put
Some of this.
we're going to put TDK. We're going to strap 6S into it. We're going to have a couple of shorties strapped together, and go for it and see what we can do.
Are we gonna use tire warming belts on this?
Well, we've got them. Let's try
I
it.
think we could
Why
try.
not? We're going to have power at the velodrome.
Okay.
We're
Oh,
gonna
really?
Yeah. So we'll get amongst it. We're going to do a show. We can put the GoPro on this.
Yeah,
Remember we did
definitely.
the GoPro on the GT.
Yep.
The GT is coming back to us for a fleeting visit.
Absolutely.
So that's going to be there as well, with Nick at the wheel.
I think we're gonna have to exchange cars because I want to have a go at this.
Yeah, who doesn't? And
The
how cool is it going to go through the infield?
infield
on
is
the-
the best, and up on the fence.
On the
Up
fence,
on the fence.
sideways on the fence.
Yeah, well, hopefully not, because it's actually got a buggy race, the EMCC Cup, the following day.
Oh,
so
okay, we can't break it then.
we're
Don't worry,
hoping
we'll
not
take
to
care of
break
it. We'll be gentle.
You'll be well. I don't believe you for a second.
What do you mean? You see me drive.
But so when is this event? 12 of
Saturday, the 12th of March,
March.
the
That's it.
Velodrome 2, or the Velodrome,
So it's coming up in just around 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yes.
So get your cars in. Yeah, it's just turn up and play, isn't
That's
it?
it.
So
Absolutely.
there's no real format or structure.
It's all
We're
full of fun.
Just for fun. Going to
Yeah.
turn up. There's no live timing per se. Just for fun. We're going to go out there. There'll be different classes of cars. Hopefully, like if it's anything like last time, was probably 50 to 70 people last
Yeah, it
time.
was
I'd
a
like
big
to
event
say.
last time. It was just after the previous one of the lockdowns. I was very keen to get out, and yeah. Now it's actually better because the container in the middle is gone, so the visibility is.
Looks like they've
much
really
improved.
done work on the place. Like they've cleaned up the place.
Oh, they opened
it's
up.
good.
Yeah, so all those
taking down
old
fencing and
buildings, they're
stuff.
gone. Yeah.
The big container in the middle.
Do we have a request?
What's that?
Wall ride. You need to do a wall ride with this car.
A what?
A
What?
wall ride.
A wall ride. Well, why not?
That's the
Why not?
You
reckon
want to do it, or do you trust me?
Why not?
cool.
Why not? We can jump it from the stands onto the track.
That's it.
Hey,
Done.
I've seen what these 1/8 buggies can do, and it's
It's
super impressive.
phenomenal. Yeah.
We could nearly take the wing off of it and drive it upside down. You know what I mean?
Actually,
If
if
I
you
put
remove
shock
the body,
limiters, if I put shock limiters in there,
that's it.
we could drive it upside down. So
Oh,
you
no, I
would
wouldn't-
never
I
be
wouldn't see that
it would
happen.
never marshalling would be a thing of the past.
I think it's and also suspensions because once you put it this low, it's gonna be
That's right.
interesting.
No, it's going to be cool. So this is a car that will race probably 4 race meets now.
Yeah.
This one, still going really, really
Mm,
strong. Last one was up at. Last time I had it out was up at Eagle Point
That's
Yep.
it.
in end of November.
Yep.
So it's had a full rebuild since then. It's tidied up, ready to go, and yeah, getting ready for Velodrome.
Now, leading up to the velodrome, we received some more GRP tires, and the GRP they have got new compounds, and we got up all the way to the, I think it's called MX7 now, which is the hardest compound.
Yep.
Now, this may not be ideal for the velodrome because it take quite some time to warm up, but we have all the compounds from the kind of S1, which is softest, all the way up to
Yeah, so they do XB 1, 2, and 3,
Yep.
which is the wet weather and
That's
damp
right.
tires.
Yep.
Or maybe for no prep drag racing.
Yep.
Stick that on the back. And then you've got, then they start at XM3 up to XM7. So
That's right.
XM3, 4, 5,
Yep.
and 7.
And you recently did a video explaining all that as well.
Yeah,
didn't you?
yeah. So the different, and there's 2 kinds of wheels. There's tread and there's slick. So I did a bit of a video explaining it,
Yep.
and I'm sure that we'll get into it more trackside.
absolutely.
We'll show them on the warmers. We'll
Yes.
show them
Yep.
as they come off the track.
Yeah, we'll bring some across. So if you're keen on this, come and see us. We'll have a chat. And we also have the drag bodies. They could be very interesting.
Oh,
The
yes.
drag bodies.
Yeah, the
yes.
big design drag bodies.
Yeah.
I'm using one-on-one
That's
on my
right.
car.
That's right.
Yeah. So you're using the ZL21,
That's the
pretty
one.
design one.
Yep.
And you're going to put that on your short
Short course.
esque kind of car.
Yep.
And put 14S. How many cells are we putting in it?
Only 14.
28.
4S.
4S.
It's geared up to the
The hill.
buggery at the moment, and it never got up there. We saw a glimpse of it when we practiced.
That's it.
And it was pretty scary.
It is a serious high-speed machine.
Yeah.
It has full, completely revised transmission,
Hmm.
1-to-1, like pretty much gear ratio.
Yeah, the pinion's almost 1-to-1.
Whereas the GT and this thing are going out pretty much just
Standard.
Yeah.
with the biggest
Stock.
pinion we can fit in. So
Yeah.
this one, for example, we race with a 17 tooth. I think I can fit a 22 or a 23 on it. That's it. and then it's all about applying maximum turbo to the motor and the biggest wheels I can fit, because that's going to add to the gear ratio as well. So, because the standard wheels, although when the buggy tires do expand, they probably do come up a bit. It's not very stable. But this one should stay. Well, hopefully.
This is designed for high-powered trucks, which can do 120, 130. So you have no problem with these tires handling it.
No. That's their exact intention. These are Speed Blaster tires. Let's hope that we can do it justice and have, if nothing else, it looks really cool.
That's it,
doesn't it?
I agree. And then still for the velodrome, we have the infraction body shelf again from BT Design. This one,
the 7 scale.
7 scale. So if you have one of these cars, just grab an infraction, grab a BT Design body for those. It's going to be phenomenal. I think it's going to handle a lot better compared to the kind of.
Or the infraction and the limitless as well.
That's right.
I think that they were designed to look cool and a little bit scale, but I mean the BT Design products are completely new level. You know, that's all done in a wind tunnel, really well produced, and they're super thick too. Those ones. I mean, that's why they're like 1.5 mil thick. Whereas these ones here are quite thick. Like those ones there, I would be quite painful, I think, to cut out.
I would say so.
It's like cutting through plasterboard.
That's it.
So super strong, really good for when you get it wrong and go upside down.
And skated all along the velodrome.
Well, I don't think this wing's going to last very long.
No, it's going to shave very
well. This body's done a few races.
Yeah, I can see
and
that.
8 scale's pretty hard.
Yeah.
On bodies, it really is. With all the dirt and mud and everything like that.
Bit of weight coming down on it as well.
That's right. Actually, we need to re-glue the only thing that's let go is the Velcro.
Oh, right.
The Velcro let go. So I've got to.
Because they're a little bit wider, so maybe you have to put a double just to get a thickness there. Because
I'm not sure what happened there. I just didn't use enough shoe glue or whatever, because it's usually I do it with Velcro as a double thing, to act raw. I mean, I use body clips too. Some guys don't, because these things take such a battering. You never know what's going to happen. I think the Velcro by itself in 1/8 is probably not going to be ideal. No,
you eventually end up losing the body for sure.
We can have a look. Let's have a look under the bonnet, so to speak.
Here we go.
So this is, apart from the tires, this is an 8 scale buggy, the HB Racing E819 RS, and it's got dash running gear in it. It doesn't have a fan, which I will have to put back on for the velodrome. It's got a 1900 kV motor, which is quite sensible for racing buggies. The GT is going to have a 2650. Which in reality is about 40% more power, which is just too much for a buggy on a dirt track. And we've got a couple of Exotech goodies. We're expecting an Exotech shipment any day now.
We actually do. We ordered that quite some time ago, but I guess it's low cost, so definitely Exotech is coming.
Yeah, so that's got the Exotech brace, the Exotech steering rack on it. And the beauty about this precision machine stuff is that it's all ball raced. So the hot body stuff is very robust and it's their quality plastics, but they use a steering bush on the rack. And as that wears, although it's incredibly robust, as that wears, does generate a bit of slop, a bit of play. And given that I'm not somebody who just hoses the car down with simple green and compressed air, because that wouldn't be any good for the bearings. Given somebody who cleans it all by hand sort of thing, the bearings have been, full race mates in and they're going fantastic. They're a tiny little bearing, but the steering rack itself does is super solid, and it's got no play across the bell crank and the Ackerman arm. So
that makes a huge difference, doesn't it? Because once you have a good servo and then you got lots of movement there, then you lose in precision. But once you start putting all this material and you put a good servo, there's going to be a massive difference. And
the GT has this set up too, I believe.
I think so too.
I can't remember. It's been a long time since we've seen that car, but it does. I think it's got the Exotech goodies on it too. So, and that's pretty much the only accessories this car has. It's factory stock E819 RS, and it's still got the massive suspension. Yeah, it's still got the buggy pinion on it. We're going to put a bigger pinion in there. Move the motor across as far as we can go. You can see underneath that that's the only adjustment that we have.
How far can you go? How much bigger a pinion?
I think we can go up 5 or 6 teeth,
that's fair
which
enough.
Is considerable.
Yeah.
But for a velodrome, it's so you don't realize how vast it is until you get there. And most cars are at full speed. Like this car here would be full speed probably in 20 meters.
Oh yeah,
realistically. On a buggy track, you're not really geared for speed. It's more about acceleration and getting over the jumps and obstacles. So 20 meters on a velodrome, it would be
And then what's going to happen is probably maybe not on the buggy, but this side is going to be all shaved off. in the velodrome on the GT, we had one side it was
Yeah, all mowed down, wasn't
All
it?
mowed down,
It was
yeah,
all nice
absolutely.
and shiny, and
That's
that's
right.
just from the forces and the weight being pushed to that
Yeah.
outside of the
and a
car.
very small, like kind of low ride height.
Yeah,
It's probably not going to be the case on the buggy, hopefully.
who knows? But you can see the chassis had a little bit of work anyway.
Yeah.
I wish they wouldn't make them black in a way because the scratches just come through so much
That's right.
predominantly. But you know, that's the way they
That's the
are.
nature of this.
That's the nature of the beast, and there's still plenty of life left in this one. So that's the velodrome beast.
Cool. Now, we talked about comical. I'm going to bring a comical up.
Oh, look at this.
Yep,
Is this your next project?
this is the next build.
Pretty
And we
compact, isn't
haven't
it?
said goodbye to the old build yet, but I'm super excited. We've been in talks with Tony Gray, who's one of the guys organising the Vintage Bash at Kilo. And it's still
Did you see that they were up to 400
400 people.
yep,
That's it.
on the page?
Now, Comical is going to be a class of its own. There's going to be 20 of these on the track at any given time. There's going to be no transponder, all built per the kit, with the exception of bearings. I think you can put bearings in them. So really cool. And they've got that quite big Comical big wheel, like
Yeah.
the HB Racing.
Yeah.
They're not a speed machine, but it should be a good second class for most people.
I think
A
so.
good fun class. Like I said, there's going to be 20 of them on the track. I think they're pretty, from what I've seen, they're almost indestructible.
I think they're very robust.
Um,
They're small
They're
and tight.
not insanely fast, and 20 of them on the track because they are quite small when they're assembled.
It's a bit like riding a little go-kart, isn't it, on an indoor track?
Yeah.
When you got them all together, they may not seem that fast, but, battling it out. it's
That's
gonna-
right. And
gonna
the
be full on.
video I actually did see of these that Tony shared with us, they actually look like real area kart, sort of
they're
comical
very comical in the way
comical
they bounce around
in
a
their
little
in
bit.
their dynamics.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a build on this in the coming weeks.
Yep.
Be a step-by-step build. Really looking forward to getting this done and getting it out the track. We'll get out the track. We'll do some testing. We'll get some footage and see how it goes.
Yeah.
So the comical series at the Vintage Bash, 29th to the 30th of October.
October,
It's so
yeah.
far away, but you think so, but not when you start taking on projects like this.
Yeah,
Time
it's
just
gonna be a
sneaks
while.
up on you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Before we're all painting bodies the night before. We're not ready. We only had 6 months.
So the suggestion is going to be 15 on the track because 20 people won't fit on the stand.
Very good point, Tony.
Right.
That is very good. Yes.
So we go on a diet,
Yeah.
and with
15.
25% of weight, then we can fit 20.
Yep. No, that is a very
Yeah.
good point. Yeah, it'll be 15 on the track. 20 wouldn't fit on the driver's stand. We should make this everybody stand from the ground
That's
around the track.
That's it.
And they can
Anyway,
marshal the
bring
cars
your,
as well.
bring your own stand.
Yeah, so that's it. What else have we got to talk about? We've talked
I
about
think
the
next week
Vanquish,
we'll have something to say about the
Oh.
projects.
That's right.
big
Next week.
projects, huge launch.
When is the launch on Sunday?
Sunday, Saturday.
So we're going to show what we've been working on for quite a long time for our anniversary, and it'll be shown tomorrow. So you'll find out exactly
Tomorrow.
what it's
Tomorrow,
all about.
Saturday.
And then we'll be releasing more information throughout the week.
So it's
And
going
then-
to be on YouTube.
Yes,
So it's a premiere.
yes.
At what time?
I haven't said that yet.
Oh, okay.
So-
So,
Help
Do I have to
ourselves,
get up
but-
early?
well, you better.
Do we want it like that?
I want to say 10 a.m.
12 a.m.? What?
10 a.m.
10 a.m.?
Why not? We're sitting in bed reading a coffee. Reading a coffee.
Reading
Drinking
a
a coffee,
coffee.
drinking the paper.
At 10 a.m. I'm having lunch. I'm having a coffee at 6.
That's right. That's right.
So tomorrow, just jump on YouTube,
Yep. It's going to be
Um,
very, very special.
and it's going to be a very cool little video.
Jump on our website. Sign up to our newsletter.
That's it.
That's really going to how you're going to stay informed on this one. isn't it?
Absolutely.
So I've been working on something very hard. BJ's been working night and day on it, and it's come together fantastic. Really
Haven't
has.
slept.
That's special. But
When you're a
meanwhile,
bat, you sleep upside down, don't you? That's what I heard.
Really?
Yep, that's what I heard.
No.
how do you know
one's
that?
saying.
Oh,
I am not the Batman.
Now, before I leave, we've got a special guest on next week.
we do. Very
That's
exciting.
Team Yokomo Australia driver, or Hearns Racing Australia driver, Simon Healy is coming on to do an exclusive show with us.
Cool.
Similar to how we had Jeff a fortnight ago,
Yes.
thereabouts.
Yep.
He's going to come on and talk about the new Cal 3.1,
Mhm.
DTM 3.1,
One.
and the SF2 Yokomo.
Cool.
So it's
So
going to
1/10 off-road buggies.
Yep.
It's going to be about the Yokomo products, what he's racing, where we race them, features of the cars.
Yep.
Differences in the cars between the three models.
Yep.
Obviously, one's a four-wheel drive, but the two-wheel drives are different as well.
Yes.
So he's going to come on and run us through that,
That's
and
it.
that's going to be super exciting.
Cool.
And then after that, I'm hoping that we can get him in to do some special build
Builds and
videos.
special videos. That'd be great.
Builds, repairs, modifications, going
Absolutely.
fast.
Yep.
Tips with Simon.
That's it.
Yes.
Done.
We'll have to come up with a slow. He'll love it.
Done.
He'll love it. So we'll be at the track on Sunday, racing at Kilo, trying tyres.
Yep, new tyres.
Yep. Simon will be there too. If you're passing by, come by and say hello. If I'm in the pits, if you've never said hello, come say hello. Say I want to borrow some tyres, and then we'll go from there.
Cool.
Fantastic, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Brett.
Stay safe, and I'll see you soon.
All right.
Have
See
fun.
you guys.
I think Tom is waiting for you there. All right.
So that's
So,
pretty full on, wasn't it? A lot
that
of
was
radio
intense.
control stuff.
but
Yep.
nothing on the car yet.
No, come on.
Nothing on the
No
car.
takers.
No takers. So we may have to. We have to do this.
Show
It's actually
maybe-
difficult to see there.
Maybe show the roof.
Like this.
Yeah, that's right. Hide the name. So that's pretty unique.
Actually, it's very reflective.
That's unique. Should be able
Alright.
to get it from there, yeah.
I think it's very difficult. It's actually really thin, really squashed, isn't it?
It is.
There's
Pretty-
not much of a like. It's like really.
Well, I guess black isn't the easiest color to see any definition either,
Definitely
is it?
not. That's it.
So you get a lot of reflection, but you don't get a lot of shape. You do know it's a sports car of some type.
Of some kind. So
Yeah.
let's see if anyone is going to guess this.
So let's try and get the brand first. Then once we've got the brand, you can start moving on to the other bits.
The rest, absolutely. All right, so it's happening. So Robert is suggesting there's a Bugatti.
So it's not that hard after all, is
That's
it?
it. Well done. So it's a Bugatti. All right, let's see what
All right.
model is it.
Yep. So we need the name and year if possible. That'd be
so.
fantastic.
Now, I think Marlon is going to be here in a minute talking about train stuff.
Yes.
In the meantime, let's see if you have something quick to talk about. Well,
Looking around.
Well-
How about that?
actually, we could have a look at this. So that's actually a new release, isn't it?
Yeah, so Saint Dragon just came in probably about a week ago, I'd say.
That's it.
And it's based on the same chassis as the Thundershot, Thunder Dragon, Fire Dragon, and you can recognize that through the suspension, the wheels, but the body is quite different. So the body, I think, is it's a hark back to one of the animation from Japan quite a while ago.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it says actually on the box somewhere. I remember reading it last week.
So let's have a look.
I thought I've seen it somewhere, but yeah, it's
From a
one of-
1980s Japanese comic.
That's it.
Okay, so that's the Saint Dragon.
Very space-looking body,
It is. It's pretty smooth, very organic, isn't it?
very organic.
Yeah.
Typical of a Tamiya car. Here we go.
Yeah. Let's see.
It's actually all
Pop
attached
this out a
here.
bit.
It's actually pre-painted in white, which is quite nice,
Yeah,
and it does have a clear.
that definitely
Color
helps.
that helps the driver to see.
Yes.
It's a clear bit here. I guess the rest is very traditional. Tamiya, you got a big bumper at the front here.
Yeah, so from memory, this is the four-wheel drive series that came out after the Avanti, I think. It's got a very hotshot type evolution.
Yes.
So you can see the way that the gearboxes have gone together. Same sort of propeller shaft at the front, multiple pieces to cover up the shaft and the bevel gear. And then you've got your bathtub chassis too. So this is an open type one. So you can access all the stuff from the top.
That's it. And you get your round battery. You can fit a traditional battery, an IMH, or a LiPo with round edges.
Yeah, that's right.
What else? Let's see. I think everything
Yeah,
else
that's
is
pretty
very,
much it,
very
yeah.
standard, typical pin tire from Tamiya.
Yep.
And you get your big box of screws and nuts and bolts.
That's right, and all the gears.
The motor will be included.
Yes,
This one will have a 9-step speed controller,
yes, that we've added to it.
which we added to it because at the moment Tamiya is not producing car with speed controllers, so
That's
it will
right.
be a specific 9-step speed controllers included.
Yeah, I quite like the logo there.
I think so.
Little
Too.
dragon.
That's the comic, isn't it?
That's it.
That's it. Very good.
All right, so there's our Saint Dragon, which just arrived. So as you can see from the year there, 2021. So
2021.
first time it's ever been reproduced. Okay.
Cool.
So I
Well,
think we've got Marlon waiting. in the
meanwhile,
wings
Marlon has got lots of stuff for us today.
there. Hello, Marlon.
Come in. Shall I move this?
Oh, yeah, I'll bring it over.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Let me just grab this.
All right, so it looks like you got something pretty special there.
So we received lots of train stuff again this week, and big delivery of DCC concept.
That's right.
That's something that's been missing for a very, very long time.
well, they have a pretty comprehensive range of products.
They do.
So it's all model railway products, electronic products actually. So things like digital decoders
Yep.
for DCC installations,
Yep.
and all sorts of hardware solutions for things like operating a comprehensive, quite complex layout.
Mhm.
Things like turnout motors. And I thought we'd just highlight a few
Yes.
quite unique things that would be really fun to demonstrate. So the first thing we're going to look at is called the Motive Power Depot. And it comes with this really, really nice box. In fact, quite a lot of their products are really nicely packaged.
I was intrigued when I saw this because I had no idea they had something like this, and what it actually does is quite amazing too, which we'll find out
Yeah.
shortly.
Oh yeah, we'll have a look at that. But I mean,
Yeah.
even just like the
Storage.
attention
Oh,
to
yes.
detail with
Yeah.
this
It's
is
very nice.
really nice. We'll explain more about what that does in a moment too. So basically, this is a transfer point for your train, so locomotive or rolling stock, from a movable like storage unit to the track. So what this does is this eliminates the operator's need to, for example, say how difficult this is to take these off the track and get them uncoupled from each other.
Oh, yeah.
Typically, rather than just put a locomotive straight on the track, I'll see if we can
This might make a
might
bit of,
move that
let's move this
beautiful
one.
car out of the way a little bit so we
give you a
can
bit of room.
see a bit better. So there's a lot of reasons why a person might not necessarily want to always handle their locomotive. Firstly, there's a lot of small detail parts, and the more expensive and the more complex they are, the easier they are to break. So
Yes.
a lot of people like to handle these as little as possible. In some cases, they might have applied weathering powder to them, or
True.
things where fingerprints and oil from your hands might actually have a detrimental effect
Yes.
on the appearance. Another reason is because quite often, maybe not so much with a small tank engine like this, but sometimes it's really difficult to actually position things on the track. It requires a bit of a special technique, but sometimes you might be in a position where that's quite difficult. Another situation might be where you're adding like a rake of wagons to the track, and if you are doing that the old-fashioned way, you'd have to position each individual one, and then couple them all together, and then removing them again would be one at a time. And you saw how difficult it was to disconnect those two. So basically, what this allows you to do is just have your locomotive, and it's an extrusion of metal with handles either end. So it's really nicely made, but it is also very simple in terms of its components. So it's obviously just an extrusion, but it's designed to be perfectly spaced for a 00 or HO scale locomotive, and it just really simply positions itself right there. And
So it's dead center.
dead center. So very easy to put it dead center. And then this fits directly.
Move this across.
Oh yeah, thanks guys.
Grab this end.
And this just fits directly onto the track itself. We just have to apply some power, and we'll demonstrate how all this works. I'll help with that if you want. I think you got it.
Cool.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. So am I the
And,
power
we're
manager
Little
here?
controller.
Oh, it's all plugged in, so we've got the controller. So we're just going to drive this off. So the power is being fed from the rails to these extrusions, and then we'll apply some power. There we go. And away she goes.
And drive straight off.
Drive straight off. So it's really good. You can put any kind of locomotive on here. This is as long as it's HO 00 scale. There's two different sizes. This one I believe is 380 millimeters, and there's a larger one with another 100 millimeters worth of length. So if you have a particularly large locomotive, like something like a big boy or something, you could probably fit it on there.
Okay.
And that is another good point. Like something like a tendered locomotive.
That's right.
Sometimes
They're
there's
really wonky, aren't they?
they are, and there's sometimes wires connecting the two together, which are quite delicate,
Yes.
and it's a difficult operation to handle both components at once.
Yes.
This allows for somebody to never really have to physically handle it. They could simply take the locomotive off, leave it on this, and then put it into storage. But what we'll do is we'll put the carriage on. This will be a lot easier to align than putting it just on the track, I think. And there you go. So we've got a nice secure placement. You got to be mindful that it can roll. So, and then we'll just put that there, and then we'll back the train up. There we go. Whoop, bit fast. But yeah, you can just see how we can then just drive the whole
So I
thing
guess
off.
if we slide this way.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they don't really have a lot of space to work with, but but that's it.
That's it.
Slide it.
And it's ready to go now.
Yeah.
So
Let's,
basically, you could drive that back, right?
in fact, I will do that. Yeah, let's do that. Just got to get the controller working. There you go. Thanks for providing us support. And there you go.
That's right.
It fits perfectly on there. And now we can just
Let's pick it up.
simply pick it up,
And put it in the box.
put it in the box.
Wow.
So that's a really simple but really innovative product. I thought that it would be ideal for people who do staging on their layout. Like if you have a small shunting layout and then you're adding like a rake of wagons, you can have it ready to go. Add it to the scene or remove it from the scene as you need. And I think if you got into the habit of using a tool like this frequently, it would be a hard thing to live without actually in the end. They also include this little, they've got like a nice like foil. In fact, most of their products are like this, but just like an information sticker. So you can put like information on the particular train and keep it handy so you can reference it.
You can stick the one on the front of the box, isn't it?
Oh, you could do that too, yeah, for storage.
Yeah, you stick it there so you know what you've got in the box.
Yeah. So it's a really good way to keep things safe
Yep.
and avoid handling it, or to quickly add or remove locomotives and rolling stock from the scene.
I thought that was a great idea. I mean, it's like you say, it's really simple.
But effective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see how they put a lot of thought into those extrusions and how they just fit directly onto the track, drive it straight off, drive it straight on. It's amazing.
So, very, very cool products.
Mm.
So we'll just put that aside for 1 second.
Yep.
Now, the interesting part of this concept is all the accessories, as you suggested before. This time, I think we went a bit further actually compared to the standard product. So we used to stick to point motors and decoders, and this time there is a lot more actually.
Yeah, we're going to look at a few things that we haven't given attention to. First thing that I was going to show was this, for those who don't know a lot about DCC decoders. So basically, yeah, if you could, we'll take it out of the package too. This is a ultra small. Ooh.
Yep. That's it.
So this is a.
That is tiny, isn't it? Because you see my finger.
One of the smallest decoders
right
I've seen. Yeah. For application into a really, really small locomotive, like say a 009 narrow gauge or N scale.
Just open it up a bit.
This is a fraction of the size of your typical decoder.
Yeah.
And this allows for DCC operation.
Is that the smallest one?
This is the smallest one that they've produced.
Right. Okay.
And we haven't had it before. So I'll open it up and we can have a look.
Okay, so it's got a little wiring harness.
It does, yeah. So this is designed for direct plug into a locomotive with an 8-pin socket, which is the most standard kind of configuration for a locomotive that's what they call DCC ready.
Okay.
If you were to use this decoder for a hardwire application, you would simply just cut this plug off in any of the wires that weren't applicable, and then you'd have a lot smaller of a unit to work with. And the same with this. This is an optional component, but what it allows for is DCC Concepts produces capacitors called a keep alive or stay alive.
Oh, okay.
And that stores excess power from the track. So if there's a spot where a train or a locomotive has some trouble,
still gonna
maintaining, because there might be like a dead spot on the track. This will store once you attach that'll store enough energy to get past that and allow for it to run really smoothly. But I just thought it would be nice to show just how minute this particular unit is.
It's amazing.
But there's a wide range of different sizes that we have. From really small applications like this, like you could use this for N or 009, all the way up to O scale.
Right.
So we have a lot of really good options for that for pretty much every kind of DCC application.
Okay. It's really neat.
This is a really cool component. And this is, just to give a bit of a background, we did talk about testing your track's voltage. We did that with the Prozis little track reader that we did a few weeks ago. So this is a more sophisticated way of displaying that information. And this is designed to be attached to your board where you have your control system, and it will read out continuously your volts and amperage. And the way it's just meant to be attached is quite simply to your power supply. Recommended to be as close to your track as possible. So whether it's you would primarily use this for DCC, But this is designed to give you a reliable and constant voltage and amperage feedback. And it's just a really cool, really nicely made looking unit with
it's a nice panel, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's like aluminium, like a brushed aluminium finish.
Yep.
I think, as you said yesterday, it reminded you of Back to the Future.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
So yeah, if that information is relevant to you, if you have a particularly large layout, this is a way to make sure that you're not receiving any kind of significant drop in your current.
Yeah.
And put this aside. Another really interesting product that we looked at for quite a while and finally decided to experiment with is the power base. And I'll open this up and demonstrate how that works. But basically, it uses magnets to help keep your train. It improves traction, it improves adhesion, basically. So you get these really nice sheets of magnets. Let's see if I can pop them out. Cool. I got some accessories. Oh, these are screws.
Okay, really tiny screws.
Yeah.
It's for custom magnets, I guess.
Yeah, that's it. See if I can. They're all stuck together with quite a strong magnetic force. They actually might be.
So
taped.
this is like the sheet metal.
Yeah.
And these are the magnets here. So they're pretty chunky. I'm guessing these are rare earth magnets. Because you see by the way that they've already adhered to this packet of screws.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So the idea is that those are fitted to the underside of the locomotive, and then because it's such a strong magnetic force, they are attracted to this. I'm just taking the tape off this so we can demonstrate it. They're attracted to these base plates. So I'm just going to put them down. These go underneath your track. So I'll just demonstrate like this. And they have this curved edge so that you can account for curvature in the track as well. And this is a piece of flex track, so we can bend it slightly.
Yep.
Just to demonstrate that. So whatever your curvature might be, even if it's a particularly steep one, the way that they've cut these allows you to align it to any curve radius that you need. So the advantage of having your train magnetically pulled to the track, as I mentioned earlier, was that it improves adhesion. So if you have a particularly steep grade, and in marble railways, yeah, because of space limitations, people typically might have steeper grades than what is prototypical. If you add a curve to that as well, that will increase the effort needed to overcome a grade. And so the idea behind this is that will very significantly increase your pulling power, especially at steep grades, or if you have a situation where you have a locomotive that's quite light and has poor power pickup. This will help adhere it to the track as well, and improve that electrical connection because the contact patch between the tracks and the wheels are quite small. I've been informed that you can pretty much keep a train practically upside down with this because it's that strong of a magnetic force. And DCC Concepts produces this both for N scale and HO scale as well. This is an expansion pack.
It's a double pack.
Yeah, which just gives you 50 units. So you could cover a huge area with this, pretty much the entire layout. Yeah, primarily this would be ideally suited for somebody who's running steep gradients and has issues with traction. Because it can be an issue when you try to pull too many wagons up the steep grade.
I guess that's what you used to do with traction tires, isn't it?
That's it. Yeah. Traction tires have fallen out of favor. It's kind of seen as an old-fashioned way of doing things, and simply because every opportunity that you have to allow for a connection point for electricity should be used. And when they'd use traction tires, those wheels would be isolated.
Correct.
Quite often you'd have traction tires on one side on one bogie and then one side on the other, but then you only have 50% of the contact patches that are actually available.
And also with all the different trains, it's always very hard to find the right size of the traction tires because every manufacturer is producing new trains, new sizes. So with this one, I guess any train will be fine. With traction tires, you need to find the right size for the right train. And makes it a lot more challenging.
Largely not super readily available anymore. We do stock traction tires for people who need vintage locomotives restored, but we have to factor in not just the diameter of the wheel, but also the width and the thickness of the traction tire itself. So it's sort of like getting a fan belt for your car in a way. You got to make sure you got the right one.
The right side. I guess the alternative would have been using ballast, right? But this is still going to be a much lower center of gravity than using belts, because belts is still above your bogies, right?
Mm.
And then if you have this actually on the chassis of your train, it's actually pulling it together over the rails.
That's it.
So this is going to be more efficient.
Yeah,
That's a very strong magnet.
given how thin that is, like that's a very strong magnetic force. So you can create. It's going to give you an unnaturally strong pulling power.
Yep.
Which for some people might be a really, really appealing concept.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I guess even if you've got it, so there's a fair gap there, but there's already quite a bit of pulling power. So even if you have that mounted within, say, the middle of the loco, it's still going to give some advantage. It's quite amazing. Okay, that's great.
It's a really neat product. Yeah, I'll pop this aside. And, I think that's all of the cool things I wanted to show you guys today.
We have more stuff as well. We have like the full alpha system as well, which is something that we'll be presenting in the coming weeks.
We will be doing that. Yeah.
We are doing some studying. It's a very fascinating system, which I read about, and we saw some years back, but went into the 12 basket really, because it needs a bit of time to learn what it does and what it doesn't, but it's definitely interesting. And I guess we're probably going to do some videos in the coming weeks. Really.
Yeah, we need to do some personal investigation of our own, because their alpha system is quite simple in terms of how things go together, but the functionality and the options is very advanced. Yeah, so it's next level.
There is a lot more stuff that we actually received, and I guess it's going to get presented as we go along.
That's it.
Brilliant.
All right, guys. I will.
It's been great.
Yeah.
There's a lot here. So I guess this one is just different in that it gives you more of the sheet.
And
so it's a double amount of sheet.
There's no magnets in this. I think it's just an expansion of, because I mean, that's quite a lot of magnets. And they can be bought separately, or you could possibly find any magnets that are strong enough to work. But this would cover a very large layout area. So it's really cool. Really glad to have a chance to be able to look at this in detail.
I agree. It's very exciting to see some new train stuff. Just new gadgets like we do in RC. We have also new wheels, new tires, new things.
Yeah.
And Dcc concept has exactly that. Really, it's kind of small things that makes modeling really interesting. And
that's right. They have
some clever solutions.
A lot of attention to detail with their products.
Yeah.
The quality is always top notch, and the way things are presented, displayed, and packaged.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, even see this one is designed to stick together, to not rattle around. It's got that blue color there is a protective film for each layer.
Yeah.
Paste. So it's very nice, very well made.
Absolutely. Well, anyway, thanks very much, guys.
Thank you, Marlon.
Hope you have a fantastic Friday.
Thanks, Marlon.
Thank you. All right, so let's bring back the car.
I'll just reverse it back over here.
That's it.
How have we gone? Have we gone any further?
Robert left, really, so I don't know whether he's going to have much more, but there's definitely Bugatti.
Yes.
Now, can we say that the name of the car is the color in a special language?
Is it a special language?
Well, not special.
It's a language we're not familiar with.
Well, that's true.
No one knows?
Well, let's see. Let's see. So we
all right, because we can afford to show off other bits now.
Yeah. It's a very interesting shape. It looks really fast.
It does.
It looks really fast. So let's see if anyone is going to come up with that. In the meantime, we're getting towards the hour, actually. But
really?
We were going to look at a couple of kits, isn't it?
We were. So I just picked out a couple that I thought were fairly new and fairly interesting. This one isn't particularly new, so this has been re-released probably about 6 months, I guess. But the first lot came in and just disappeared. So we've got them back again. So this is the Bentley 4.5 litre supercharged F1 car, I think. It would have been F1 back then.
That's right. And it's a 12 scale, so it's a big model.
It is. But it's in a really compact box.
That's right.
So very similar to the F1 cars or the Fiats that Italeri have released. So this fits in with that sort of series
category. Yeah,
perfectly. So if you had a few of these cars together, they'll look absolutely fantastic on a display cabinet.
That's it.
Super nice build too. So it is an old kit, so it's going to take a little bit of skills. There's going to be a bit of cleaning up involved. So I'll just have a quick look because we're running out of time. But let's have a quick see. You may not see much in the box here because it's all sort of bagged up.
It's really sealed. Oh, look at the wheels.
So you can see the wheels there. Multi-piece
spoke
spoke
wheels. Yeah.
So I guess you can see the age there. They are pretty chunky.
Yeah.
And what some people have done is to actually chop those off
And put some.
and rewired them
Wow,
with music wire.
that's a big job. You got rubber tires, am I
It
wrong?
has got rubber tires. Rubber
Yeah,
tires
that's
in the
it.
back here.
Just sitting there.
So you got the fenders and
Fenders.
stuff. So you have to bear in mind that this was state of the art back in the day.
Yeah.
But now it probably lacks a little bit of detail. But because of the size
It's-
and because of all the stuff that's available, it's easy to add
That's
the
right.
detail now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess there's always room to actually add details to these cars. Right? You can buy. I guess there probably be some photo edge out there that you can buy to enhance the kit.
Yeah, I think so.
You can do a bit of scratch building as well.
So really chunky bits. So it looks like there's not a lot to it, but you'll be able to add a lot of bits. So because of this kit of its age, it doesn't really have any hosing or anything.
Yeah.
So you can add heaps of hosing to it because these cars had really a lot of bits hanging off them
Absolutely.
because they were pretty rough and ready. We're talking about the 1930s, fairly early days for automobiles and particularly high performance
That's
automobiles.
right.
So I thought that was nice to have a quick look at.
I agree.
Okay, so that's
That's it.
the Bentley. We're talking about Bentleys.
Oh no, we've got to
B.
B. Okay,
B,
we got the first initial.
That's right.
It's still a luxury car, really.
And then I thought we'll have a look at this today. So
This is cool.
this has actually been toured by Tacom, but it's under the Snowman models branding. So it's a company from Hong Kong that specializes in ship models, and they generally do a lot of low production resin kits.
Yeah.
But they started doing this with Tacom.
Collaboration.
Yeah, plastic kits. All right, so this is a World War One.
Oh, look
Ship.
at that.
And you got the airship in the same scale, so you've got a bit of a
That's
reference
huge.
there. But you think about the airship and you think it's huge. Well, the ships themselves are actually huge. Okay, and these are going back to the early. They called these battle cruisers, and they were huge. So a bit like what was it? Was it the Hood? The British Hood that got destroyed by the Bismarck. So this is like the German type in that series. So you've got the clear stands for the airship,
Yep.
so you can display them all together and have a little diorama coming through.
It's pretty nice molding, actually. Let's quickly see.
Yeah. So what you're holding there are the really fine parts, which are on
Look at
the sides of the ship. Okay, so you just look in here, you can just see these elements here.
Yeah.
And they're all these individual
It's
parts.
very fine,
Right
very clean molding, I have to say.
Yes, and you can see the wood decking.
Is this raising? This must be. It's pretty. It's
Yeah, it looks like a resin bit,
this is
doesn't
a
it?
raising part, and look at the crispness of the detail. Actually,
But actually, it's
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 injection molded. It's
injected.
injection molded, actually.
that's very crisp
Very
injection
crisp,
molding.
yeah, and it's actually sold almost separately. Really, like it's actually
Mm.
added in for some reasons.
And then you'll see the texturing on the side of the airship as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can really see all the framework and the fabric that's stretched all around it.
That's it.
So it's
So
really
the-
interesting, isn't it? It's a subject matter that isn't common. And then
Lots
we've
of small
also
parts here.
you got some really special brass barrels.
Yep.
They're in this little case,
That's nice, actually.
individually machined, and there's photo etch as well. So you see all this photo etch. There's quite a lot of it.
Yeah.
Really fine framework. You've got ladders and such, and on stuff on this scale. I mean, that's 1/700 scale, and just these tiny details. You got railings there as well. Really add to it.
Yeah, definitely.
So you got two ships in the same class. They're slightly different, and then you have the airship as well, which would have been really common at that time. Those Hindenburg type airships.
Brilliant.
So
Very
yeah, so that's
interesting
what I
kit.
have. Yep, in kits.
Very interesting kit.
Something different.
That's it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's good. All right, so I think that's it.
So time to bring this across. So I
Have a
think,
close look.
Tony has potentially guessed it. It's called was that a brand with flower pots on the head in the 80s? They share a similar pronunciation.
Flower pots?
Flower pots? Yes.
Really? No, I have no idea.
No idea.
Can't
but
answer that one.
looks like he knows.
Right.
No matter what. So
How do you pronounce that?
I think we should put a top view. Let's
Yeah.
give it away.
How do you pronounce that?
I think this is Le Batteur Noir. It's a
Le
French
Batteur Noir.
that if you translate that in English is like the black car.
The black car.
Doesn't sound very good, does it?
No. We'll just say
Well, in French, it's particularly fancy. And if I don't know much about this car really, I would say it's a potentially concept car.
It looks concepty, doesn't it?
It looks very concepty. There's no interior, which is unusual for a racing manufacturer.
So it's got this hark back to this
That's
center
right.
line.
Yeah.
Was it the Bugattis that had a central fin on one of their cars? Is that what it harks back to?
I'm not really sure, really. Could
I've
be.
got a feeling that one of the cars had a vertical stabilizer at the back.
But this again is a phenomenal model, even though there's no interiors, which is extremely unusual for racing models.
Yes.
This is all carbon fiber.
Yeah. So I don't know if it picks through, but there's very fine carbon fiber pattern, and I guess the pattern direction is mirrored across each side.
Yeah.
Okay. So the pattern goes this way
That's
on
it.
this side, and then the opposing direction on this side. So how they achieve that, I have no real idea. Okay. It must be transferred on somehow.
Yeah.
But it's applied so finely.
And across the full car is very consistent because the wave goes along the same direction, even on the side door and on all around the different, I guess, vents and the air intakes.
And you see how they've cleared it as well. The clear has very little distortion to it.
Yeah.
It's got really crisp edges.
Yeah.
So they've done an amazing job applying this carbon fiber
Absolutely.
finish.
Traditional front end, Bugatti front end.
Yep, so
obviously.
you got the horseshoe.
We got the focus. Let's get it focused up.
You got that Bugatti symbol.
Actually,
Yep,
we
so
can
very,
go in a
very
bit. You
recognizable.
will see the carbon fiber wave. Actually, bring it down a little bit. You probably see the wave there. Look at this.
You see that? And then across the center there.
It goes in the opposite direction.
That's right. Got the vents there. Yeah, it's pretty spectacular. And those wheels are a bit unusual too, aren't they? Because the edges.
That's a fox, are we? There you go.
You see how that silver goes onto the tire? It's really unusual.
That's true, actually. Very concepty.
Front as well. Bit of silver that
Yeah.
extends onto the tire, giving that real rubber band look. Because it looks like it's got no tires at all.
That's right. Very fine tires.
And on the back end.
And look at it. 6 exhausts in the rear end. Is that
Oh, has
6?
it?
Yeah. If they're exhaust, maybe it's an electric kit.
Hey.
Maybe it's electric. And let me focus it again. That's it.
Wow.
Brilliant. So Tony thought there was the Bugatti Divo, but it's
Oh,
different.
really?
Sorry, let's go back. Here we go. Whoops.
Oh, that's pretty crisp. There you go. Pretty
That's
special,
it.
isn't it?
Very special.
I remember
Very-
when it came in, you got so excited.
That's it. This week we received Hippo cars, actually. We
We did.
had 3 more Ferraris,
Yes. They look good too.
and also we have a 1/12 scale shipping. 12 scale is something we haven't had for a long time.
Mm.
It's going to be huge. It's one
Yep.
of these very limited edition cars. I think it's LaFerrari. Very, very wanted, sought after kind of model, and should be here next week. So perhaps we can have a look at that next
Yeah,
week.
for sure. Any 12 scale car
That's
is a
it.
really impressive one on the table.
That's right. Brilliant. Very good.
All right.
All right, then.
Well, it went fast, didn't it?
I think it did. Lots of new stuff this week.
Good.
And I don't know what's going to be next week.
Well,
Who knows? Well,
special
there'll be-
announcement.
There'll be a special announcement next week. So, as we said before, jump on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the next video coming out tomorrow morning. Is that
Well-
morning? We don't know yet.
Well, I haven't decided yet.
So
So there's going to be like a social media post
That's it.
explaining exactly what's in it. And then we will have a video coming out and going into a more detail there again.
that's right.
Maybe I'll do the evening because we've got the image coming out during midday. And
That's
then I'll
right.
do a nighttime,
So
some viewing.
keep it on the social media. As Brett said before, just if you jump on the newsletter, then you get first bite to this special project, which will be released sometime probably later next week. Is
Yeah,
that the plan?
I think. How about we say something next week's live?
That's right.
Yep.
That's right. So we will give instructions as we go, but it's going to be really exciting. One of many.
Mm,
And
that's right.
this is particularly one, I think, is probably our biggest project that we've
Oh,
done
for
so
sure.
far.
Yes.
It's a great collaboration. So if
Mm.
you've been following us on social media, you may have seen some bits and pieces, but there'll be more coming. So
Yep.
Awesome. Great.
All right.
So
It's been good.
thank you very much for joining us again tonight.
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 It's
Afternoon.
night in some parts of the world.
That's it. So we got it
Yes.
right somehow. And next week, double live. So it'll be Thursday night with
That's
Simon
right.
Healy talking about off-road buggies from Yakima, and
Yes.
then Friday again here
That's
with
right.
some special stuff.
A week's gathering of
Indeed.
good stuff.
Indeed. All right then. Everyone, have a good weekend. Thank you
right.
for joining us.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
See you later.